Scrub the back of your ears. You can remove your access and your energy from anyone that you want that does not deserve it. So next time somebody comes at you with some half-ass effort, tell them I don't have half-ass, I have a fat ass, so therefore I will not be dealing with anything less. Period. Fair warning, I'm pretty passionate about some of these topics, so if you see me get passionate, just know I'm being passionate. I'm not angry. It is daylight right now and I am the happiest person ever. There's vitamin D in the air. Once that vitamin D comes in, that depression is gone.
Como ya la vi, solita, pues me pregunté qué pasa cuando me bailó cerquita. Eso fue descomunal. Dale, dale, tra, tra, tú sabes cómo es, cómo hacerlo más.
Hola and hello, welcome back to Time with Tali. I am so excited for this video because I know a lot of my friends out there need it. I remember when I started to reinvent myself and I wanted more confidence, doing a few of these things made me feel absolutely insane. I thought I needed to be in the loony bin because who does this? I spent too much time hating myself to waste more of it continuing to hate myself. Yeah, right, I was bugging. The question is, how bad do you want it? You already know what to do. Follow, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it. So tip number 1, romanticize your life. Dance in the rain. Challenge your friends to dance battles in public. Buy yourself flowers to put on your doorstep. Maybe even write yourself a cute little card. I don't care. People out there tend to get jealous of people that have limitless joy, and they resent you for their incapacity to tap into that within themselves. They think it's too out of the norm, too dramatic, too extra, too much like a movie, a fairy tale, and not real life. What if I told you you could have both? It's not because you're waiting for your Prince Charming to come and provide that life for you, but rather you're getting it yourself. I believe life is too short to not be a little delusional. Sprinkle, sprinkle some Delulu. It's more interesting that way. It's more fun. Fair warning, some of the things I'm telling you today will make you feel like you're crazy. So I want you to do something. Romanticizing your life in a sense is kind of trying to make everything mostly positive. So what I want you to do is, when negative thoughts arrive, focus on the positive. Focus on your strengths, on your accomplishments. Stop focusing on the negative, giving it too much power and weight. Same goes for the past. Leave it where it's supposed to be. I want you to try this trick, okay? Whenever I start to think of something negative or a negative thought comes into my mind and I hear that nasty voice or have self-doubt where the voice is telling me I can't or I'm not enough, I tell it to shut the... I'm just kidding. I interrupt it by making a noise. It seems wild, it seems a little off, but it's true, it's what I do. You can control your mind, but it is definitely a skill that you need to work on perfecting and strengthening in order to become proficient with it over time. So sometimes in public when I have a random negative thought, or if I'm just in my house, this is kind of how it looks. I'm not kidding, I really do that. But it's because I choose to never again give that negativity one more second of my time. Dismissed. Número 2, scrap external opinions. Because baby, one thing I know is that your opinion of me has nothing to do with me. Do you pay my bills for me to care what you say about me? All right, picture this, because I'm sure many of us have this person or people. If you have kids or someone that you feel very protective over, and they were to feel about themselves the way that you feel about you and they express that to you, or let's say someone else decided they were going to come up to that person and say something bad about them to their face, or to another person and then they found out. What would you tell them? I'm assuming if you're anything like me, you'd probably get like borderline violent or full-on violent. But it's because you know that person doesn't deserve that treatment to feel that way about themselves. Also, you might tell them, don't listen. Don't listen to them. What you're thinking about yourself is wrong. You don't deserve to feel that way about yourself or think that way about yourself. You might also tell them, screw them and screw what they gotta say about you because it does not matter. Let me tell you a story. In high school, I had a registered nurse who was a teacher. She was teaching me my CNA course, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, one day I told her what I wanted to be because she asked me. I said I wanted to be a nurse, maybe do labor and delivery, possibly become a nurse practitioner. You know what she told me? She said that's a really hard field. You gotta be really smart for that. It's a lot of hard work. Maybe you should pick another field. Excuse me? Miss ma'am, I just graduated nursing school as a registered nurse, so I suggest you shut your mouth. Thank you. In layman's terms, she was just telling me I was stupid, that I wasn't gonna be able to make it. Nobody in the school liked her. I could see why now. So now I have the confidence as a grown woman to know that she was absolutely wrong and her opinion did not matter whatsoever. But when I was younger, that was a totally different story. I went home that day and I cried because the one teacher I actually did look up to, because she was very intelligent, she's not good with people, told me I wouldn't make it. I believed her and I was down for quite a while. But had I held on to that, held on to how stupid I felt after speaking with her, I wouldn't have become a nurse and an author. Number 3, do not run, confront your giants. There's a quote by Peter Drucker that says, if you want something new, you gotta stop doing something old. A lot of the times we actually know the answer of how to get across that barrier of the things that are stopping us and overcome that obstacle, but we're too scared to try new things. We're too scared to confront ourselves for being lazy, playing victim, doing the same things that we've been doing for so long. We're scared of change. We don't know what's gonna be on the other side, but we know that it's not what we're comfortable with. I've had a couple of my friends tell me I haven't seen a change in my physique. I've been going to the gym for quite a while. I've been doing all the stuff that I was told. I haven't been seeing any results. You basically gave me the answer. You gave me your answer. You've been doing the same thing. As humans, we are meant to adapt and to grow. We need to keep ourselves on our toes so we can continuously do that. So I suggest this, when you're confronting your giants, you're confronting this obstacle, this issue that you're having with gaining confidence, start this new process with a different approach. Begin by identifying what is your actual problem with yourself. Like, identify that issue, that obstacle that you're having. What's in the way of you building your confidence? And it's not always looks. Maybe it's how you talk, how you walk, how you dance, your vocabulary, public speaking, approaching the opposite sex. You might feel a little silly, but once you identify that obstacle, I want you to say it out loud, high volume, face it, work through it. Therefore, you can take the next step in making an active, conscious decision to choose to start the life that you want now. Really dig deep with yourself and think to yourself, think with your head here. Are these things or this one thing that I hate about myself so much something that can stop me from living the life that I want today, right now, ahora? Spoiler, if you said yes, you're wrong. It's funny when I think about it because I used to have an issue with my voice being really deep. So I started doing this thing, confronting my giants in a sense, where I started to make fun of myself. I would make jokes about myself as a mechanism to defend myself from feeling bad in response to hearing those things from someone else. So sometimes I'd be like walking by the mirror and I'll be like, damn bitch, your voice deep as fuck. Like, I would make fun of myself. But it's because when I make fun of my own insecurities, that took away the power from anybody else doing it to me. I became numb to hearing those things, and actually it reverted them into something positive, something I laughed at, not something that would break me down. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, you know? Words can be a very, very, very powerful thing, but at the same time, words are just words. You have the power to change what they mean and the power they hold and the weight they carry. Or let's say it was something physical. I would look at myself. I'm gonna look crazy. Oh my God, hold on. I'll show you what I used to do. My shoulders are broad. I look like a linebacker. That was a little dramatic, but that way you get to make fun of yourself, not take things so seriously. When you hear your complaints about yourself out loud, you're like, damn, I'm a little dramatic. It's not that serious. Another way I faced my giants was also going straight to the source. As many of you know, if you saw my first ever video, my introduction to YouTube, I had issues with my body image and developed an eating disorder. A lot of that came from societal standards, social media. Get off of it, especially if it's making you more unstable than you already are. I understand the whole chemical process that occurs when you're hooked onto certain things that aren't good for you. It's like going back to a toxic ex, even though they're still pieces of crap and you feel like crap when you're with them, you just keep going back. But I truly feel it's because you're still trying to feel something was created a long time ago and you haven't found a safe or secure place for it to be covered up. So if your giants are people that look like Kim Kardashian or Chris Hemsworth, just know most of social media is fake. All these pictures and videos are online are all like AI computer generated. It's literally like we're striving to be cartoon characters that are non-existent. This leads me into number 4, kill comparison. If you're still thinking to yourself, if I just look like this person, if I just attain the things that they attained, or have what they have, then I'll be good. I was watching this motivational speaker one time, CeCe Olisa. She said something along the lines of, change your perception of your measurement of success. Because trust me, I've met people that have money and cars and fame, and they are not happy. Just because you have money and you look pretty, it doesn't mean that you're successful. You really need to learn to stop comparing yourself, learn to love yourself, because nobody can be you. How many times do I have to say that? You need to actively remind yourself that every bad thought that you have about you is a lie. I want you to think of this, okay? When you have a negative thought about yourself and it's coming from your own mind and sometimes it even sounds like it's your voice, how does it actually sound? What are the words being used? Usually it's things like, you're stupid, you're not enough, you're not beautiful, you won't make it. It is not you, it is directed at you. It's these internalized external projections that others have brought upon us, or their actions have. It's not you. We're not all born just hating ourselves, but we can revert back. We can erase it. We can do better. Number 5, you gotta start switching your vocabulary. Repeat positivity to yourself. You are what you think, you are what you speak. Initially, this will feel like you're telling lies to yourself. When you don't feel beautiful, smart, successful enough, this is when you feel like you're gaslighting yourself. You feel crazy for thinking the way that you are. So once you start to say the things like, I am beautiful, I am enough, you have this internalized battle with yourself that's like, but I don't feel that way, but I'm trying to make myself believe it. I don't believe myself, but I want to. Keep fighting yourself. Eventually, all that negativity that was internalized will stop fighting back. Or you will become strong enough for it to not really be an opponent anymore. Another way to gain confidence is to also educate yourself. Broaden your vocabulary in your speech. Knowledge is power and unshakable. It can't be taken from you. And if you're not confident in how you walk, dance, speak, posture yourself, practice, do your research, mess up, and do it again. Mel Robbins said this one time in a podcast. Rehearsal equals preparedness, which eliminates nervousness, which kind of goes hand in hand with confidence. Number 6, you want to emulate the energy. Rihanna said it best at that red carpet or whatever interview it was when the lady asked her, it was a sound that went viral on TikTok. She said, what do you do on the days that you're not feeling your best? And Rihanna said, pretend. Pretend until it's permanent. Fake it till you make it. Humility does not equal downplaying yourself. Be proud and broadcast your adventures and feats. Take up space and exist loudly. You deserve to be there, wherever that may be. Walk differently. Posture yourself differently. Do not shrink yourself, especially if you're trying to fit in spaces that you do not belong. A lot of us have outgrown spaces that we no longer need to be in, but yet we still try to keep going back. It's not meant for you. You've grown out of it. Also, stop apologizing for everything. You're very much showing lack of confidence when you're like, sorry. You better be sorry. Don't mess me up. Mel Robbins also said this. You can tap into that courage before having that feeling of assuredness. Courage comes first. Confidence is what builds over time. Oh, I love that. I'm just gonna bring you her message at this point with this one because she just did it so beautifully. She said, you can't think your way out of fear, anxiety, or low confidence. You can only do this through action. Lights, camera, action, let's get it. Before you leave your house every day, question yourself this. What do I think a confident person would do? How do I think a confident person would dress? How do I think a confident person would speak, walk, present themselves? Someone that loves themselves regardless of what other people gotta say. And then do that. Don't be an asshole. There's a difference between cocky and confident, and one of those requires struggle, trauma, and humility. They're not mutually exclusive. Number 7, be different than the rest. Because you are you. Dress different, smell different. Some people may watch this and be like, everybody else does this. You'd be surprised. Practice good hygiene, brush your hair, brush your teeth and floss, have good skincare. Take care of your nails, scrub the back of your ears and your belly button, and blow your nose, damn it. Oh my God. I have this one person that I know, and I'm not gonna give details, but they know who they are. They will go their whole day, from morning to night, sounding congested as hell. Literally sounds like you got a mucus plug all day, and you just sit with that in your nose. I can hear it. I can hear your little visitor. So, you want a tissue? You want to blow your nose? Are you not uncomfortable? Not being able to breathe? I don't know. Just a thought. Strive to be healthy. Eat good food. Maintain physical health and activity. Nourish your body. It's the only one that you got. Know that you are different. You are not everybody else. Treat yourself like china on the shelf. Not that you're delicate, but you're prized. Well taken care of. That's how you should treat yourself. And I'm not sitting here saying you have to have all these name brand clothes and all this other stuff. I don't care about none of that. Get you a $5 shirt that is clean and not wrinkled and makes you feel good. Looks good on your skin tone. I have this friend at my gym who is very physically fit. Very. 62-pack abs, the whole 9, right? But he has this thing that he's like, I don't really care about fashion and clothes like that. I know I take care of myself physically. Understandable. Absolutely agree. But there is nothing wrong with you finding an outfit just to feel good in. I also know, I overheard this story one time of someone that I know, their car broke down. Yet that same week, instead of getting their car fixed, they paid $800 for a whole brand new name brand outfit. Que inteligente. No, no, that's not what I mean. All I'm saying is if you look good, you feel good. It only helps. Number 8. I love number 8 because this is the one that makes me feel a little spicy. Number 8, take the bar out of hell. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You need to start pouring into your standards and your boundaries for once. The standards and boundaries that you have for yourself and for others. Because you be giving in way too easily. I don't know who I'm talking to. I've seen a lot of people, ooh, this is gonna ruffle feathers. But you're gonna know what I'm talking about because I'm not trying to offend anybody, okay? So if you're a little sensitive, just hear me out really quick. I've heard a lot of people say things like, oh, it's my depression kicking in, it's my eating disorder is coming through again, it's my this, it's my that. Ooh, this is gonna be bad. I do feel like sometimes there are people that will go to the extreme and use these disorders and diagnoses as a crutch. I'm leaving. Can't get canceled if nobody knows you yet. Period. I'm not saying this is everyone. You guys know what I'm talking about. There are people out here that do lack accountability. And they don't do their part. They just sit and complain and panhandle for pity, whether it's from others or from themselves. Everything is an excuse. And trust me, I know I have been down at my lowest and I had to get myself out. But there was times where pity would have been very nice to pick me up and I did panhandle for it. I get it. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that when you stop putting the blame on everything else and start pointing the finger at yourself, you can really start to see a change and grow. When you implement standards, I'm gonna need you to stand on them. Stand on that. There's this word in the Bible from Matthew 7 and it talks about building your house upon the rock, which is basically if you raise your family within the word of God, they will have a stable foundation. But if you're like the house that was built on sand, long story short, you'll wash away. You're wishy-washy. There's no strong foundation and you will wither away easily. I don't want that for you. So keep promises to yourself because your word and your promises to yourself, your standards, your boundaries should mean something. They should hold weight. And until you start acting accordingly, nobody's gonna take you serious because not even you respect yourself. So how do you expect others to? You set that tone, babe. You need to remember that if God gave them the opportunity to have you in their life, they're messing around with it. They're playing with sanctity, baby. Don't forget that. If you're sitting around getting mad because your friends get mistreated in these relationships and stuff like that, or by their family, you're getting all mad and protective. I'm gonna need you to do the same thing with yourself. It's my 4th time saying it already in this video. And it's not about being mean. People tend to confuse confidence with cockiness and like having an attitude and being rude to people. It's about prioritizing you and your worth. And if somebody doesn't see that, you don't play about it. This is the advice for anyone that likes men. Just as an example, if a dude isn't consistent and he doesn't match up with your wants and needs, that's fine if that's who he is. But we as people, we don't match. Me as a person, I don't match that. Why do you still allow them to have access to you? If we don't match, that's fine. Bye-bye. Because if somebody doesn't see your worth, you need to see it for yourself. Build that wall. Stand on that Stand on it. Jesus. Now I'm getting mad. You can remove your access and your energy from anyone that you want that does not deserve it. So next time somebody comes at you with some half-ass effort, tell them I don't have half-ass. I have a fat ass. So therefore I will not be dealing with anything less. Period. Same thing for when you're on the offensive. Be somebody that goes after what they want. What's meant to be will stick. And whatever doesn't want you was never worth you in the first place. I have to take my own advice sometimes. This part just pissed me off because it makes me angry. I took that one personally. I'm talking to myself right now. Because this is where the line blurs for a lot of people. Sometimes you gotta say, screw your feelings, okay? I don't care if I like you. I'd rather hurt me letting you go because you don't see my value than stay with someone long term, hate myself the entire time, and still end up hurt even worse than I was in the beginning. The hurt just multiplies. Your presence, your time, your communication, your energy is of value, but you control who has access to it. So stop complaining about certain people being attracted and coming into your life and they stick around as if it's their fault that they're still there. It's yours. And I don't want to hear any buts. I have enough but for all of us. Number 9. Confidence takes vulnerability. Insecure people won't like this one. And it's the last one. I believe that confidence is built from the ground up. Who I am, what I have learned, where I have been, where I've come from. I embody that. Nobody can take it from me. Sometimes you got to break yourself down into little pieces to put them back together the right way. Be honest with yourself first that you will never be perfect. And that is perfectly okay. Ask yourself the why questions. Why do you react the way that you do to certain things? Why do you think certain things? Question your faults. I put it in one of the images of the last video that I posted regarding mental health. I'll link it somewhere. In one of my notebooks, I wrote down, why do I overthink? Why do I lose my mind at the thought of not having control? Why do I still seek perfectionism? Ask yourself these deep questions and look back. Don't be in the past. Don't stay there, but visit. I have gained confidence in my mind with my knowledge, imperfections, and mistakes. And that's what I want. I never want to be the person in the room that hasn't been through something difficult and made it out. Because then I wouldn't be adaptable, well-versed, or at the capacity to be able to help others if need be, if I haven't experienced any hardship myself. Trust and believe, if you're still living in a world where your way is the only way and the right way, I promise you that you're living your life in a very limited, confined, and restricted space. When you broaden the horizons of your mind, every other single door, window, and vent open. Those are 9 things that I did to gain confidence, and truly now I feel I emulate the grown woman that I have always wanted to be. Thank you so much for spending time with me on Time with Tali. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
Ella puso un casting para los que valoran. Si no es seguro, pues no se enamora. Porque la cagó una vez, pero no otra vez.